So, you know, there's so many variations of braised pork belly dishes in like Chinese cuisine. I would say, you know, this is the top of my list. It's so comforting, and once it's cut through with that sort of sambal, it all becomes this incredible plate of food. Hi, I'm Abby Lee, chef owner of Mambo in East London, and today we'll be making the babi chin, which is a braised pork belly dish, a Peranakan speciality. The key flavors to this dish is the coriander root, the tauchiu, which is a fermented soybean paste, the black soy. If you really can't find black soy, all you have to do is probably use the dark soy and add some more sugar. So we're going to start off by making the paste. These, I would say, coriander root, you want to chop it slightly thinner than the chilies and the garlic, just so I'll be able to like process at the same rate. We're just gonna get the tops off your chili. Then we're gonna get your coriander root. Just got some garlic, yeah, probably the fastest and easiest paste you could find in Malaysian cooking. Right, so basically ready to blend. And that's gonna have the coriander seeds and the soybean paste. Get a hit of coriander straight away. Everything was produced through, yeah, the different variations of pestle and mortars. That's why Malaysian food, or especially Peranakan cuisine, usually would take about 2 to 3 days to prepare. It'd be all the women in the family just grinding away. So you've got your paste that's ready to fry, and then I've cubed the pork belly into sort of like 5 centimeter cubes. Quite like it quite chunky, so you can cut into them and really just experience full bite. I've kept the skin on because I love it braised. When it's braised, it becomes so soft and like gelatinous. Claudia mushrooms go into it as well. They need to be soaked in some warm water for 15 minutes or so. And I've got some whole peeled shallots. I just love the sweetness of these when they're braised as well. If you just, you know, slice it right to the end, it should keep whole during cooking. And we'll fry it up. I never cook Malaysian food for myself. Just the smells, which are amazing smells, all day make me crave basically the opposite of Malaysian food. So like French food, Italian food, no spices, just butter and cheese. So that's heated up to like a medium-ish heat. So with this paste, you're just gonna have to watch it quite a bit because there's the soybean paste, so it can caramelize the sugars quite easily and burn. So just stir it regularly if you can. So we're just gonna fry this until the oil splits from the paste, and it's, you know, it smells like a deep fragrance coming off it. While we wait for that to fry off, you can start preparing your sambal belacan, a fresh, zingy, shrimpy chili paste that will go along with the braised pork belly. Cool, so this sambal belacan is a fresh sambal, so it's not a cooked sambal. The sambal is basically a chili paste, and you can have them like in a raw version like this, or a cooked version like sambal tumis. There's just hundreds of different types of sambals out there. Basically all very different according to what your family likes to make. Belacan is a fermented shrimp paste. I've toasted it in foil, like a parcel. It does help to keep the smell in, so no one comes to complain. And I've also, I'm adding in some kaffir lime leaf. Some people don't add this in. I quite like the fragrance of the kaffir lime leaf. For these, just want to get out that thick middle stem. You don't want that. Chilies, you're just going to roughly chop so you can go into the blender. Cool. It's looking good. So you can see the oil has like separated from the paste, deepened in color ever so slightly. So you're ready to coat your pork belly. So you just want to coat each piece with the paste and Basically, you're ready to add your water for braising when the pork has turned away from being pink. I'll probably turn it up a bit at this point. So it's time to add your braising liquids. And in here is the cooking caramel or dark soy, the light soy, and sugar. We just need some hot water just to loosen it up, because dark soy is so hard to get out. All right, let's coat it. So I decided to be a chef pretty much during university, which was a disaster. And when I hit rock bottom, cooking was the only way out as a form of therapy. And so, yeah, it just gives me life and distraction. My aunt is back in Singapore when I finally decided to cook Malaysian food after years of only cooking in Italian restaurants. I went back for the vigorous training and basically had to relearn how to cook. Just understand how to work with so many ingredients, because now you're working with 25 ingredients instead of 5. You can pop your shallots in. We're just bringing up the liquid up to boil. You're going to add your Claudia mushrooms as well. When it comes up to boil, you just want to skim off any scum that comes up to the top, so you get a nice clean sauce. So at this point, yeah, you can basically bring it down to a very low simmer, or you can pop it into the oven, so you know it'll be definitely evenly cooked all the way. You now forget about it for an hour and a half and crack on with your sambal belacan. The sambal belacan is probably the condiment you'll see on every Malaysian plate. And some families use a lot more shrimp paste. I mean, it almost looks like brown at the end. Now we're adding the calamansi, the kaffir lime leaves, and the sugars. My auntie would probably kill me for blending the sambal belacan, but this is where we're at now. If I'm particular, my aunt's even more particular, but that's been ingrained into her from granny, so that's a lifetime of teachings. I needed to collect those memories from my aunt. If not, that would basically die with her. And that's why we're so passionate about bringing these recipes to the other side of the world. So that's going to cut through that really rich pork belly later on. Cool, so this is the one that we made earlier. And basically when it comes out of the oven, the sauce is going to be quite loose. And so we're just going to reduce it down now, and we're going to show you the glaze that you want on the pork belly. And you basically want to season it with probably a bit more salt or sugar. See it perfectly jiggling. The texture of the pork skin is so good. It's just so like sweet, savory. For someone who hasn't cooked any Malaysian food before, this is such a good entry point. It's so easy to make, and it just really hits home. It will really give you, a real taste of what Malaysian cuisine could offer you. My aunt hasn't been to the restaurants, only my parents, and Asian parents are hard to please, so all I had was, it's a bit salty. Pure pride. No, well done.